Get some extra bonus coverage. Some of the best of what we got. Oh, again, I don't know what they call these.
We are in the pre-show.
We in the pre-show. So here you go, a little quick. I know it's been a minute, but I had to go back, re-up, recharge. You know, figure out how we gonna follow this thing out for 2026. Got to be in the mix for 2026, and we got to make this thing get fixed in 2026. So, it's a little pre-show while we waiting to be acknowledged by the media outlets that platforms that pick us up, so everybody can see. If you're here now, thank you for coming early. Probably really good at what you do. You're on time. It's probably the first time I've been on time in a while. But that's another story. But see, we starting out the new year right already.
Twitch has accepted the stream.
Twitch accepted stream. So we're about to go live. So thank you if you're already on.
YouTube has accepted the
Well,
stream.
I want to give it a minute because I tell people 7:30, and if you jump on too early, then they miss the opening, and so those things are coming on. We gonna roll now. Can we hit it at 7:29? What is it? 7:20? Yeah. Give me 3-4 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minute warning. 2 minute warning.
Okay.
And so while we're on the live show, see, I can eat on this part of the show without being, called all type of bad names for my decorum. But my brother brings me here these what I call, this is a grape. I don't know what type of HGH they shot in this grape, but this is what I would call an apple grape, a green apple grape, because there's some apples on the trees in the vineyards that's not as big as this right here. But it is a grape, and the reason why I'm doing this, I'm a little hungry. I asked for some water, and you ask and you always get more than you ask for when you mess with Think Twice Radio, man.
Now, you know that little box in front of you?
Yes, I do.
You see the 5 in it?
Yes, I do. When I hit that when I'm ready, right?
Yep.
And then when it's time to go, I hit the fade to black.
Yeah.
Now, why is it fade to black? Why couldn't it be fade to white? Because sometimes it's a white screen up here. That's how this racism thing works, and we're gonna talk about it. But because this is Black History Month, so I might have a guest pop in, man. I don't know how we gonna navigate that, but when the show is live, you make it do what it do the best way you can, and that's what we'll do. Brother from a podcast, Eat, Sip, and Chat, who was gonna come in tonight, share the days with me and talk to the community on this beginning of Black History Month, 2026. Which many people don't know, this is actually the 100th anniversary. Century-long honoring of Black history in this country, because people who really know history, we honor it all over the world, and there's monuments and everything else to that effect. If you don't know, now you know, as Biggie would say. There is a world of information out there. We're going to talk about it. This is why we got Black History Month. There's a world of information out there that really explains the necessity for Black History Month. But I want to take this time to really big up the man who really got the ball going. That's Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Not to be confused with the peanut guy. The other Carter. We don't want to make that mistake. But a lot of people don't even know why we have Black History Month and what it's about. And I do a program. This is a free plug that if you want more in-depth information and presentation, me and my granddaughter do thing and called Y'all Gonna Learn Today. And it's about Black history, and, we got different segments. So if you're interested in that, you see the number up there, 716-202-8430. If you're interested in that, phone, drop it in the chat or phone, and we'll get right back to you with some dates that we're still available. Dates will run out fast. But, believe me, and it's a money-back guarantee. I don't know how many places now you get a real money-back guarantee, but if we do this for you and you are not satisfied, we will not charge you a single cent. That's how much we are convinced that this is what you need to be hearing, and how much you will appreciate. information we get. So I'm about to go live. I'm trying to wait a minute because I always tell people 7:30 and it's 7:27. That sounds like an airplane. You're now boarding at 7:27 on our way. I'm feeling particularly good tonight because I got these apple grapes. I got this water in this thing here that looks like it purifies it while you're drinking it with the little straw coming out. Good evening, Auntie. I know you. Oh, I tell you, the people come out. Thank you for showing up early. I'm about to kick this thing off, but God bless you. See you soon. Water. This is nature's champagne, man. Don't get it twisted, man. Don't get it twisted. I'm about to hit this button. We gonna kick this thing off. Let me make sure I got all my things right. Let me see. Let me get that up. Wait. Come on now.
No, you got to click on the picture.
I did. I gotta click it twice. What?
Yeah, click it twice.
There you go. All right, now hold up. Hold. We about to kick this off.
I didn't hear any sound. Play that again.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
hear
let me
any
see.
sound? Huh.
It's low.
Let me fix that.
Yeah. Technical difficulties. Hold on, y'all. This is because we live, and we all the way live. That's what you know. So, yeah. But we going to start this up. It's up all the way up here. So we got a little technical difficulty going on here.
Huh.
And you know what?
No sound, huh?
Don't worry about it. We're gonna dispense with that. We're gonna dispense. This is something. No, listen, serious. It is not a problem, man. This obviously is a godsend because let me hit this switch. Bang. All right, we about to go. I punched it.
Oh, it's going. It's going.
Oh, it's going. Bang. We live, all the way live. Happy Black History Month to you and yours, from me and mine. Excuse me. I just had these real great grapes. I will talk about that later. But good evening. Thank you. I know I've been out for a while, but, even I got to take some time to rejuvenate, get this information, do this research, and bring you the best, man, that we can bring you, man, to keep you informed, give you the news that you surely can use, and, in a way that we ain't chasing ratings, man. We about facts and receipts, and so that you know what's going on. And this is a glorious Black History Month, in spite of all that's going on. I know I usually start the show off with my little Tupac clip, about changing the world. But tonight we had a little technical difficulties. But I'm going to attribute that to the fact that what we're about to talk about needs some paramount time. And, I can't talk as eloquently as Pac, but I do got some facts that we should be considering. And on this Black History Month, we're going to honor those, our ancestors, our elders, those of us here right now, and those who are sure to come and follow this struggle, because it is an indispensable struggle that we fight. And as long as you fight, man, I know you win, man. So good evening, first of all, for those of you who may not have tuned in before, which I hope it's a lot of you didn't. I am Jerome Wright, and I'm the host of the Wright Report, a program that we really affectionately term Edutainment for the community, where we give you some facts and figures, we give you some news. We try to give you an uplifting and empowering word that you could use, and then we try to commit ourselves to a sense of community around some issues and things that really impact us all when we look at them in the largest sense, because they're always trying to divert us with the little things on the side. So, but for this Black History Month, I want to do a little educated, man, because it really is unconscionable that this is our 100th anniversary. Think about it, a century, 100 years, which most people don't even live that long. 100 years of honoring Black history here in these Americas, where they try to only limit our history traditionally to either Tarzan, because Tarzan was in Hollywood, wasn't really it. That's a set. That wasn't the hood in Botswana. Believe that. I just want us to understand why why this man was such a genius to conceptualize promote and have the longevity of 100 years of honoring Black history, because prior to that, I'm going to tell you what was going on. So the man that the father of Black history is Dr. Carter G. Woodson. Dr. Carter G. Woodson was a historian, educator. He published, treaties. He was a real intellect. He don't get much play because his advocacy. Let me tell you what without reading the facts, what the unvarnished story is. Here's a brother who grew up, was one of the first to matriculate out of Harvard, and he got PhD actually from Harvard. When we would say we couldn't play quarterback and we couldn't graduate out of Harvard. That's enough stuff. But anyway, so he, during his study, he went all over the world. Like what he learned here, when he got to other places, he was at the University of Chicago, a noted bastion of liberalism and high ideas and progressive thought, and all these elite institutions of higher education. He goes abroad and he starts to see history that usurps what they said, sometimes totally debunks what was being said, but ultimately doesn't give his people the honor and respect and dignity that they require for things that happened prior to anything having to do with the Atlantic slave trade, when there were dynasties of people who looked like me and others who, created civilization until, it astounds me. And he was so astounded. He was so astounded that he knew about the Black Madonna and baby Yeshua in different countries, in the Vatican, in Russia, in Notre Dame. He learned about things that we contributed to home and abroad. Our footprint, our fingerprint on the world and history, right? And he ain't like that. He said no, and he understood that some of the problems that we had here was based on the fact that this knowledge, this history, had been abrogated, had been hidden or misrepresented. The Miseducation of the Negro, one of the seminal books about how, this whole thing came about with us being in a situation that we're getting so far from our glorious history. But I digress. So he said, look, man, I'm going to study the Black experience abroad and home. And he dedicated to writing a journal of Negro history. But it was in 1926 that he launched what was then known as Negro History Week. Now, he was so expansive in his understanding of this. It wasn't just to educate the so-called Negro or Black person here about what we did with. It was to also enlighten those who had before that looked askance at us in ways that they should not have, because if they knew the history, they would be more reverent of our being. And let me tell you something. What I know, what they don't teach you, and what this brother wanted to do was create a week that was centered around the education about the Black experience in the world, not just in the diaspora, but not just. I see them numbers 134. Thank y'all for tuning in, man, and getting some great numbers on on this little. Hole in the wall. First of all, I started off wrong. I can never thank you enough. We got this Black experience to talk about because of Think Twice Radio and my man on the ones and twos always, Richard Wicker, man. Thank you, Rich. I'm sorry I started off like I did. You thought you bought me them grapes and just threw my. Let me show you these grapes. You would be thrown off too if you came in and you asked for something and they give you something like this. It's delicious. It's all that, but it kind of threw me off. But Richard Wicker, we at the home of the future, Think Twice Radio. And you know when you think twice, you usually think right. And that means the right report, edutainment for the community right here. We had the ones and twos, man, me and my boy, and trying to bring you this information. So let me get back. At the genetic level, race does not exist. Studies of human DNA have found that there is more genetic variability between individuals of within any given racial group than between two such groups. Dawn Stover, not my words. And I'm going to repeat that really quickly because that is the nexus of what Black History Month is about. And I'm going to shout out my girl, Tom VA. Tom VA gave me this little quote. I've kept it since she gave me a couple of years ago to share about what this whole thing is about. We'll get to that in a moment. Here we go. Listen to me. At the genetic level, race does not exist. Studies of human DNA have found that there is far more genetic variability between individuals within any given racial group than between two such groups. Again, Dawn Stover, thank you for the quote. So, and I learned this when, people don't want to argue. They say, you lose your audience when you talk about race is not true. Differences are differences. You don't call blue and black two different races. You call them colors, different colors. And you don't call people of different hues, humans, different races, because there's no genetic evidence to substantiate that. As put here, there's more genetic variability between people in the same group than anybody else. There was an incident years ago with a judge who needed a vital organ. I don't know, was it kidney, lung, whatever, and tested everybody he knew close to him, genealogically close to him, so they would think, and it had no match. Without this organ, he was going to die. Just on a hoax, not a hoax, but on a hope, not a hoax. The court where he worked, was a judge in the court, and the court said, well, man, let's see if anybody here matches up. On a wing in a prayer, and lo and behold, here's a black male judge, and this was a white female judge who shared the exact enough DNA that transplant could take place, did take place. And I don't remember the names right now. You can look it up. Google that. Who lived successfully ever after. Talk about race. Same mud, same blood. If you believe in the God, He created one man from which all of us are descended. Let me say, and this is Black History. Back to Tom VA. Listen to this. I see the Black History Month. It's also, everybody don't see color, and we all, this rainbow coalition of people, and we all together, No, that's not what Black History Month is for. And I did tell you about education. There's a component. The man was an educator. Everything he do revolves around enlightenment, elevation, educating. So that's a no-brainer. Here's the point. He educating, elevating, but listen to this. It wasn't not to see color. The people say, I don't see color. If you colorblind, you got me there. You colorblind, because I see color everywhere I go. That's the mosaic of life, seeing what's really there. Say you see no color. And this whole notion about having this month to make we don't see no color, that we're like everybody. No, they not like us. That has nothing to do with race. Here you go. I see no color is not the goal. I see your color and I honor you. I value your input. I will be educated about your lived experiences. I will work against the racism that harms you. You are beautiful, and I will do better. That's the goal. Of course, my brother Carter G. Woodson put it more academically, but in essence, this is what we talk about. That we see each other for who we are, but we honor who we are with each other, that we value each other's input in the dynamic of this life, that we will learn about each other's lived experience because you can't know me if you don't know my lived experience. The whole saying, anything about us without anything about us without us, not for us. My lived experience, if you don't value, because that gives me perspective, that gives you context. Otherwise, there is none. Otherwise, you can do what they have been doing, and why we need a black. I went to see DL. Me and the missus went to see DL Hughley this weekend. Funny dude, great commentary. Catch him on 96.5 during the week at 3 to 7. Great comedian, but also a good political commentary person who. And what he talked about, I got this book here, and I'm going to pull it out for those you can see. And it says, the book says, here you go right here. Black people invented everything. Now, people laugh, I invent everything. He said, and then I read this, and we're going to talk about some of them inventions. When I read this, I was captivated by the fact that, all the stuff that we don't know about, they don't teach you here. They don't tell you whether it happened here, anywhere in the diaspora or on the motherland. They won't tell you the good stuff, right? But I said, DL said, well, if black people could invent everything, then it means that white people invented the eraser. I mean, it had us cracking up. Think about it. We invent everything, but what they do, we invented the light. No, they didn't. What's the name? Edison. We get credit for nothing when there's indisputable evidence that there's so many things. Let me just give you a quick list, because I know I'm digressing, but I'm feeling the spirit of fake news can't erase the truth. That's right. That's the wishes she talking about. Yes, fake news can't erase the truth. Let me tell you something. That whole idea of fake news is before they're trying to erase that. Why would you, if we dumb and all that? Why would you want to get rid of the history? It's you got fairy tales. Why this can't be fairy tales? Why would you want to erase it? Because they invented the eraser. Remember, we invented. No, we didn't. Look through the annals of time. Look at the things. Air conditioning unit. You don't need it right now, most parts of the country, but come summer, you'll be crying and having it on. 1941, Frederick M. Jones, a black man. The auto cutoff switch. We take for granted. Before then, you probably got shocked when the grandkids said, "Do you think, Papa?" Yes, girl. That's my kid. Granny's is on here. We got all generations tuned in on this. This is a time that y'all gonna learn today. And me and Eva coming to a enterprise near you to do our little Black History Month presentation that goes really deep into this show. And she got a piece that's called "What If There Were No Black People." I hope and I got the grandkids all out south. Jason and my daughter-in-law all turned in. Thank you, man. But let me some more history, man. The baby buggy. We got those carriages we carry around now. Now they're up to 5, 6. Some of them carriages cost more than a used car right now. Baby buggies. But you know what it started with? My man William H. Richardson, 1889. You never knew that. You'll think one of these conglomerate companies that I don't know what's the name on them. I don't even know what the name is. Look at this. The clothes dryer, George T. Sampson, clothes dryer. You used to have to hang your stuff for the world to see, stains and all. Black man, I ain't gonna tell you about that. You'll think Westinghouse or come on, man. Fire extinguisher. Listen to this. Electric lamp and the bulb. Let me tell you something how they did. This is why we need Black History Month. Because when the truth is told, people get to understand not just what happened and who did it, but their own individual potential to accomplish that and more. That's why they don't want the history out there. Got nothing to do with the facts of it or not. Because they tell more lies. We got the Easter Bunny. I'm sorry, I got the grandkids listening. We got the Easter Bunny. We got vampires. We got whole cults made up on superheroes, comic book characters. But you want to erase the history of the indigenous man to the planet for what? You don't want to erase pornography. You don't want to eradicate things that really harm people. You want to eradicate education because you know the key to people's success is their acknowledgement, knowledge of their history, and education of it. Because once you know what somebody has been that looks like you realize that that same potential lies within you to be that or whatever else you want to be. Now everybody want to be a rapper. Now everybody want to be a dancer. Now everybody want to be a street urchin. Now everybody want to be a thug. Now everybody want to be on the block. Come on, man. Listen to this. The folding chair. We're going to thank Nathaniel Alexander in 1911. He made the folding chair. What happened? We had that August beat down with the folding chair right on time, man. In Mississippi. There must be a God. I'm being sacrilegious right now. But listen to this, man. Folding chair that you plop your butt on in church, in school, and anywhere else you've tired enough to plop it down at. Black man, never gonna tell you that. What ingenuity it take for somebody to say, man, we need something that I can sit on when I'm in this line over here, whatever. Bang, 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 put that together. Never get credit. That's why you got Black History Month. So people can get their roses, their flowers, posthumously. Oh, right now. We got things. Listen, come on, man. The gas mask, Garrett Morgan. They gassing Americans in Minnesota right now. And they got on the mask of a black man to save them in order to harm our citizenry. That's why we need Black History Month. Take the masks off. They don't belong to you. The gas mask. I can't even go throughout this list in the show. It would just be about that. But I want to bring them up because people say, why you got black? Let me tell you something. There's this misnomer, another lie, falsehood that they won't erase. It still ain't erased Columbus discovering America, someplace that was here already that many people had traveled before. No, it's time for nothing. Listen to this. There's this misconception, this lie. Okay, let's just go back to Black History Month. Why is it in February? Oh, you got people complaining, even people, black people saying, they gave us the shorts. But first, they didn't give us anything. They didn't give us anything. Black History Month was something that this brother decided was going to be promoted. And he did it in February. It has nothing to do with the number of days of the month. It has to do with two people's birthdays during that month that he revered and he thought, and now I question some of that, were honorable. And one was Frederick Douglass and the other was Abraham Lincoln. Now, what reason why I say I'm a little dubious about some of that, because he did that to honor them and because there was this misconception that Lincoln freed the slaves. Exhibit A for those of you online. This is a letter that Lincoln wrote to Horace Greeley. If you don't believe this, like I said, Google it. I ain't got time to sit here and lie. That's it. This is what Lincoln said in his letter. My paramount object is there's no struggle to save the Union and is either to save or destroy slavery. If I could save the Union without freeing any slave, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing all the slaves, I would do it. And if I could save it by freeing some and leaving others alone, I would also do that. What I do about slavery and the colored race, I do because I believe it helps save the Union. This is the man we hold in high esteem is freeing the slaves. Who would by his own pen state that if it was up to him, if he could maintain power, he wouldn't free the damn person that looked like us. I don't sound like somebody that was a freer of quote unquote slaves. They don't want to erase that though. They don't want to erase that we segue from slavery to Jim Crow to school to prison pipeline to the prison industrial complex as all renaming of the same beast. Oppression, poverty, slavery, neatly cloaked up as crime by black people, I must say. But this is the president is on the, what, did they stop the penny? Was he, Abraham Lincoln on the penny? Was it dollar? What is he on? I don't even know. But just tell you. The mop, Thomas W. Stewart in 1893, black man. The stethoscope, Thomas A. Carrington in 1876, the stethoscope. Tell us about the light bulb. You right back. The light bulb. Let me get back to that. So, here it is. Thomas Edison gets credit for the light bulb. Got Edison made billions and millions. However, he was doing this, experimenting, inventing, blah, blah, blah. He couldn't get the light to stay on. I mean, he could get light, flick it, and just as soon as it came on, you know how it is when you turn your light on and the bulb blow, boop. That's how quick it came on. On, pop, off. But you got light. Pow! It was a blast of light. He could not figure that damn thing out. 99, they say he did 99 tests. This is the whole philosophy about keep going till you get it right. Supposed to be by Edison. Edison didn't get it right. The brother, what's his name? I forgot the name right now, but his brother figures out that in order for the light to stay illuminated, what a light bulb is supposed to do, not this produce light, but stay on, bing, light bulb moment. If I wish I had an emoji I could put over my head right there. He said he figured out that little thin film of filament, that little piece that you see going, allows the light energy to he figured out that if you put that in there with that other little thing you made that wasn't working but for a split second, then there will be light. That's what God said. God said then there will be light. Y'all didn't catch that. That's all right. So here it is. Lewis Latimer. Lewis Latimer, right? Yeah. He figures out, the electric light bulb, 1882, Lewis Latimer. I'm a little older and a little slower, but I still got it. I'm going to tell you that. Lewis H. Latimer created the vehicle by which I am sitting to you in glorious color and light now. Yet he's never gotten the credit. It's always going to Thomas Edison, who I can assure you stole more than the patent that Lewis Latimer had. This is going to erase. The eraser. I'm telling you, that DL, you hit that, bro. That eraser, man, the eraser. The other thing he said that I gotta say this, DL, I ain't trying to steal no laughs, and like you know how you do on the Instagram where you post, you say, I don't own the rights to this music. Well, I own the rights to these jokes, but they funny as heck. And he talk about about the eraser. We black people invented everything. Facts. And he said, no, not facts. Because if we did, they invented the eraser. Because everything we invented disappears, and we don't invent it no more. Somebody else did. Don't look like us. But the other thing he said, listen, this is a good one, man. Throw this at. This is a line I'm going to hit somebody with one of these. I can't wait to hear it when they holler, yeah, well, if you don't like it, go back to Africa. Yeah, we're going to say, if you don't like it here, huh, we got it here. Well, go take your back to Africa. You know what you're dealing with? Come on, man. You know you can't take back no stolen goods. That boy DL ain't no joke. He said, you can't take back no stolen goods. Not without no receipts, and it better be right. Good one, DL. But this is why we got Black History Month. So we can educate ourselves and other people about the travesty of the miseducation, and then let's talk about the facts, what it is. We're not supposed to be erasing anything. If anything, we're supposed to be adding things to the larger discussion about this history of this planet because it is relevant. It is, listen, let me do this thing about color and racism. Because, you black stuff. Let me say something. There's a difference between prejudice and racism. Everybody is prejudiced. Now you sitting there telling me, oh yeah, everybody's prejudiced. All prejudice means that you can prejudge something, someone, or anything without having any more information. Now you look at somebody, I don't like that dude. You don't even know the dude. I don't like him. Next thing you know, that's your best friend. You prejudge it. That's prejudging. Anybody can do that. Don't take race, creed, color. Remember, there's no race. I'm going to get back to that. Race, creed, color, religion, national origin, right? Racism is a separate and distinct entity. That's a shout out to you, Jason Young. Yeah, my little grandson hooked me up on that one. He got entities in his life. It's a different entity. You hear me? Racism means by the very virtue of your racial background, color, that you have the authority to negatively and or significantly impact my life. I can't be racist if I don't have the ability other than to maybe take your life, which don't remember, I don't get away with that. No, I don't get away. We don't get away with breaking the law anyway. So even when we don't break it, we don't get away with something. So another story, but it's a separate entity. When you use your color, your condition to oppress, negatively impact, decimate, deny opportunity to somebody, that is racism. If I don't have the power by virtue of who I am and look like to do that, it is impossible for me to be racist. That's why we say a system of white supremacy is racist, because you're saying you are supreme based only on your Caucasoid, white skin, light skin, no black and white anyway. I'm not gonna go into that. Listen to this. The mailbox. Paul L. Downing, 1891. The mailbox. We take it for granted, especially with emails and instant messaging and what's that? Airplay, CarPlay. But the mailbox You still got one, but don't you? I don't even think they make a home, a house, a residence without a mailbox. I don't care how much the stamps go up. I don't care how bad the service is. I don't care if you don't even get no mail. You got a mailbox. A black man, mailbox. We all know what I talk about Carter is George Washington Carver, who they often, who people of no knowledge often misrepresent as Carter G. Woodson, the guy with the peanuts. 1,001 things out of a peanut. Not even talking about peanut butter. I mean, peanuts are used. If you knew some of the things peanuts was used for, you might stop eating peanut butter. Actually, but I'm just saying. The thermostat control, Frederick Jones, 1960. Yeah, I was born. He made that, the thermostat. So how important the thermostat is. There's a question that's often asked. Are you a thermostat or are you a thermometer? I'm going to get an answer here because I ain't got time to try to figure it out. The answer is that you should answer that you're a thermostat. Because the difference between a thermostat and a thermometer is ginormous, as the kids would say. Because a thermometer reflects and tells what the temperature is. It's static. Whatever it is, you know what I say? Whatever it is what it is. That's the thermometer. It is what it is. But the thermostat, ooh. Just about every home got one of them too. Look at the stuff that black people put in everybody's home, whether it's your home or not. The thermostat. Difference is it regulates the temperature. It don't reflect. It don't. It tells the temperature what it's going to be. The black man made the thermostat. Traffic light, Garrett Morgan. Traffic light. We got accidents out the wazoo now. Imagine if the traffic light was, even though people, half of them don't, I ain't gonna say half of them, a lot of people don't abide the traffic light rules. The black man, traffic light, every corner, every block, every country, all over the world. All over the world. Traffic, Garrett Morgan. You wouldn't even, you think the Department of Public Works made this damn, not you, I'm not being facetious about anybody. People think that because they see a yellow on the truck come by, yellow from the DPW, that they make the, no, Garrett Morgan, the black man. Everywhere. That's why you need Black History Month. Who knew that? And I'm not disparaging anybody's level of, I learned stuff. That's why I do this. I tell you, I learn more than I teach. I can show you that much. If I tell you everything I learned, devil working, I can't hear everything right now, but I hope you can hear me. If you can't, please light up the board and say something. It's only coming out of one ear or something, but look the traffic light. And people say, what's big about traffic light? Not just the accidents. A traffic light is a demonstration, ultimate demonstration of faith. Break that down. I'm gonna break that down. Here it is. You come to the light. I got up here, red, green, yellow. I look like a traffic light here. Red, green, yellow. So you cross the street when it's red for the cars coming the way you crossing against, right? Or something. All right. And you say you got no faith. I believe in God and all this other stuff. I'll never see. You don't know who's sitting in that vehicle. You don't know if they stole it. You don't know if they passed the driver's test. Do they have a license? Are they drunk, high, or is it under the influence of something? You don't know if they're too old, can't see. You don't know anything about them, but you walk with your head in your phone, with your AirPods on. Oh, yeah. Or talking, man, you without even looking. Because the light say red. But you believe in that light. That you don't know if these people here going to abide by it. And that ain't an act of faith. Blind faith. Actually, Because I done ran a few red lights. I don't care if it's over now. Some of us done ran some red lights. But your faith, I'm the dumb one. See, that's making that personal now. I'm sorry. I digress. But why this brother felt like, so it was Negro History Week for a number of years, and then in the black consciousness of the 60s and 70s, it expanded to what we have now, Black History Month. So it was in the journal, then it was Negro History Week, and for a week, we try to get all. It's not even enough time during the month, right? There are things. I got calendars that they show every day of the year that with something that somebody that looked like me then accomplished, done, or improved upon. So it is an exhaustive list, one that is not can ever be comprehensive. It is infinite, and none of it's talked about. None of it's talked about. Matter of fact, what they trying to do? Erase. I guess the blackboard, the eraser. Oh man, that thing's starting to sing to me now. So that whole race thing, eraser thing. But I'm just think about it, man. I've mentioned some things, and I didn't even get to the hairbrush. Lydia O. Newman. It got to be some women makers. Lydia, in 1898, made the hairbrush. Before that, could you imagine how scraggly people was looking? And how scraggly, what? The hairbrush. Tell me ain't a brush in every house. Even in the bald man head house, there's a brush because he wasn't bald unless he was born with alopecia. Probably got a brush somewhere. Come on now. Y'all think this is a joke. Y'all think I be just talking because I got lips? Nah. Here you go. The spark plug. The spark plug. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what the heck they had before spark plug, because I ain't started driving till they was riding with all kind of fuel injection systems and everything. But the spark plug, that big old vehicle, I got a big old bad truck, 7 back. The spark plug don't work. It ain't going nowhere. The spark plug. Little thing like this. Listen, matter of fact, some of us didn't got robbed. It was the spark plug. They said it was the alternator and the belt and that and this, and they didn't charge you $300-400 for $50-40 spark plug or whatever, however they call it. Spark plug. Spark plug. By Edmund Berger. 1839. I'll be doing this. Shout out to the Buffalo Challenger. The Challenger, since I've been here, I've been in Buffalo 17 years, and I saw it before I got here because I've been in facilities as incarcerated individual up in these parts and other places where, like in Auburn, the Challenger reach has its reach because of people, from different areas of the state like that. And ever since I've known the Challenger, every publication has put out a section about Black history. Every single publication. I've yet to see a repeat one. I must be honest, I've not read every Challenger publication, but I've never personally seen a repeat article about Black history. But shout out to the Challenger. It's only fitting because the Challenger is based in Buffalo. And what people don't know, what you should know about Black History Month, Buffalo and Rochester, this Western New York area that gets such maligned treatment, is the bastion of the Underground Railroad. Is the bastion of freedom, like the Michigan Street Baptist Church. Areas all up on the east side were ways that people came to escape slavery and oppression, to go into Canada, where it was more welcoming, still more welcoming, if you ask me. But think about this: these areas, you have people who come out of these areas who are seminal figures in history. Shirley Chisholm, just to name one off the top of my head. You got just shout out to WBLS that introduced me to the Buffalo legend, Chief Rocker Frankie Crocker. Frankie Crocker was a legend in New York City, flagship station WBLS 107.5 FM. Uh, the man was got busted for some, wasn't all good. Got busted for some payola stuff, but ruled the airways, man, for years in that spot. Time spot, a Buffalo-born native. Yes, he was. You remember him, right? Frankie Crocker. Frankie Crocker said, if your radio ain't on to the Frankie Crocker show, your radio just ain't on. He was the chief rocker. Stood only about 5'5", but he was a powerhouse and ruled the airwaves. And what was popping in New York City at that time was popping anywhere else in the world because the chief rocker, Frankie Crocker, made it pop. So, they don't talk about figures like that. Legends, icons in industries and movers and shakers that look like you and I. That's what Black History Month is about. The lunch pail, James Robinson. You know that lunch pail? Some of y'all gonna be filling the night for them kids tomorrow. Yeah. Anybody got a kid, they don't got a lunch pail, they ought to be charged with child abuse. I mean, you send them to school in a paper bag or plastic bag, making them get ridiculed and bullied. Get them a lunch pail. It's the black man made the lunch pail. James Robinson in 1887. No credit for that. You'll think one of these Disney characters that they sell on the side of lunch pail got something to do with it. They just promotion and commercializing because the black man is the one who invented the lunch pail. The rolling pin. This one for you, Auntie. My aunt, man, cook. Man, listen, when she stopped playing around and I get her to do this truck or this store, and we gonna call it Sheila's Home Cook, her food so good make you smack your nana. Facts. Make you smack your nana. The rolling pin. The pin that we use to cook, make it little, what do you call that, crust. And, I don't know nothing about cooking. Only thing I know about is eating. I like good eating, but all right, now I know good eating. The rolling pin, you know what that was made by, Auntie? John W. Reed in 1864. I don't know what they was doing before that. I hate to even imagine what they was doing before that, but made the rolling pin. If you in a house where there's a cook in there and there ain't no rolling pin in there, I'd get out that house. What? Does that mean they used that last rolling pin to bash somebody in the head and got away to the evidence? I got you. Listen, the straightening comb. Now, I know a lot of us, because me, when I grew up, I did not like the straightening comb with my peasy, nabby head, but the straightening comb was invented by Madam C.J. Walker, who history will tell you, because listen, I thought I was going to be a musician, because remember we had the picks, red, black, and green, come on tonight, red, black, and green, and it was metal, man, bing, 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 bing. Listen, back then they used to have to spray your head with stuff so they could comb my hair. Ocean, Afro Sheen, Afro Spray, Afro Fluid, Afro do it. Because if you said wet, have to wet your thing up for, man. So I thought I was going to be a musician, but the straightening comb, I got a beef with Madam CJ. But I do respect that the first, what they say, known millionaire, black entrepreneur, millionaire, that's what they say. What I know is that all over this country, just like all over the world, wherever we've resided, we have some of the most prosperous people, entrepreneurs, inventors in the world. The problem is everywhere in the world that we've done that, we've shown that we can do on our own and better than some people do, we have been maligned, attacked, and in some cases utterly destroyed. But cream gonna always rise to the top, so that's not gonna stop, y'all. Sorry to tell you, we still gonna be the best at whatever we do when we do it. It is what it is. You know what they say? Here's something. It is what it is. Here's another one. It is what it is. If a problem has no solution, it may not be a problem, but a fact. Not to be solved, but to be coped with over time. So cope with it, guys. We ain't going nowhere. It's us, it's baby kids and roaches, man. We the first here, and we will be, if anything, the last to go. Let's talk about being the first here. So part of this education, understanding this color dynamic. Biblical, it was dark before light. Anybody want to argue with the book, even though that book has been altered and back. Now, I have no problem saying this. The Ethiopian Bible, which has 88 chapters, which has Enoch and the Jubilees and a bunch of things that we know actually supposed to be in the Bible, were taken out. Now, we know there was some nefarious stuff about that. I'm not here to begrudge that. If you know, you know. But the Bible says in the beginning, everything was dark, because you cannot get light from anything but something that starts out for dark. It can't go dark, can't go light to dark. In the spectrum of colors, it goes from dark all the way down to what we want to call white. The conjugation of colors, the hues, the tints. You have to go from the strongest, just like genealogically, you go from the strongest gene down to the least recessive. And when you're talking about people with melanated skin, you're talking about that's why you cannot couple. I'm saying it's nice because it is a Black History Month. This is a radio show. On the other time I might just keep it raw. But when you couple with somebody else, if they are melanated, that's it. The child is a melanated child because of the genes, bro. I'm not making this up. Talking about genes. What was something? There was something on here. Where was I? I was trying to think. Ironing board. That's by Sarah Boone. Sarah got tired of ironing that stuff, standing up on rocks or whatever she was doing. She said, "Man, we need an ironing board." So in 1887, Sarah got together and put that thing together, but nobody know. Somebody think Posturepedic or one of them names put it together, made the ironing board. It ain't. The guitar. Listen, what really got me, the golf tee. You know what the golf tee is? George T. Grant, 1899. Now, we don't even play golf like that. Not because we can't. Tiger Woods. Not that we can't. Expensive, cumbersome, time-consuming, things that we don't have in great value right now, unless you got, some cheddar. The golf tee, that is the little, usually wood stick that has a little bump in it so that the ball can sit on there that golfers golf off of. Where's that? Golf tee, George T. Grant, 1899. And we don't even play golf like that. Somebody right now is hitting the ball off a tee right now, in the house, in the dome. Just because it's snowing don't mean the golf game stop. And the tees just keep on coming from the black man. The guitar was Robert F. Fleming Jr. The guitar. You know how many people, they stole the music, but we gave them the guitar. It's just, erase. I'm not going to do them all. I can't do them all tonight because, one, there's not enough time. And this list is exhaustive. I only took the things off the top. But I will follow up with some of the paleontological, some archaeological, biological findings that substantiate the genealogy, the advancement of mankind. The reason why it is called the human race, hue is spelled, it is a 2 words, human man, and it is Hueman. That's the hue that we're talking about. They took the E, dropped the E like they do everything else, cut out what they want to cut out, how they want to do it, and it's human. And a hue is shade, a color, a tint. That's what hue is, a gradation. And the human race is a gradation from the highly melanated black person all the way down to the least melanated, and that's including albinos, because they have an abnormality in their makeup. Does not make them human, not human. So, but I digress. Think about this. Racism holds the position that we shouldn't have a Black History Month because our history ain't worth knowing about. Well, my granddaughter gets a chance before this month's over to read you "What If There Were No Black People." I think you'll greatly change your tenor and tune about that, because this world would be a completely and utterly different place. And that's not bias speaking; that's facts, as the young people would say. I mean, we got fossilized information that shows what the human tree came from and how Africa, Akubuland, which is the real name, is the place where the Garden of Eden, if you believe in that, but if you believe in where life originated from the Nile Valley, oh, they go, you know that's my favorite right there. Okay, teacher. So you know that this all it all revolves around. Don't worry about it, huh? We know it ain't. See, and I got people jumping in now. They're a little late. People got things to do with their life. But my thing is be doing something and doing something constructive. If you ain't here listening and getting educated, do something constructive. That way, I ain't mad about it. Because that means we all doing our part, or you're doing something towards the cause. And that's what this is about. That's the community we talking about. Not the ones that just talk about it, but be about it. You can't walk the walk, then you shouldn't be talking the talk. And so if you out doing things, and I know she's a budding athletic star in volleyball, National Honor Societies and academics, and just the sweetest little thing, my little harmony. Glad you could join us. The folding bed. We had the guy with the folding chair, and that was I'm gonna give you a test later, just so if I see you. That was Nathaniel Alexander, the chair, the Mississippi chair thing. Then we got the folding bed. That was Leonard C. Bailey in 1899. Bailey. So the folding bed. Now you know how many times we done slept on that folding bed in the living room, in the back room, in the dorm room, and whatever room we can get it in the hotel room, the folding bed. The brother said, listen, we can get one more bed up in here for all these people we got in this spot, and we going to make this folding bed. And it was the black man who came up with that, and we take for granted. You run to, when you get in the hotel, and you got this extra guest you wasn't expecting. Oh, can you ask the front desk if they got a folding bed? Yeah, the black man made that, make it happen. And we don't want to get him no credit, man. Listen, the doorknob. Listen, Osborne Dorsey in 1878 made both the doorknob and the doorstop. So he caught you coming and going. That's my little joke there. But listen, here it is, his brother, the doorknob. What was they doing before? The doorknob. Was you sticking your hand in the hole and pulling? We all had saloon doors? What? The doorknob. Ain't a house there without a doorknob. I don't care how you make it. There's a door. In every house, there's at least one doorknob somewhere. I don't care how you get into the bed. I don't even care. And if you got any detail, you got a couple of doorknobs. The black man, Dorsey. You don't see on there Dorsey now. The Dorsey door. Nobody even know this. This is why we have Black History Month. So you could know things that you should know. And you can know how far you can go. I'm just saying. That's supposed to be bars. It didn't come out as well as I planned it. But hey, he does. He did the doorknob and the stop. I mean, you could turn it, but I can hit that stop there, and you can't get it all the way open. He wasn't playing no games. I'm going to let you in here. But it's going to be on my turn. I'm going to stop right here. Only can come in that much to get your nose back out the house. Boy, that boy wasn't playing. Huh? The fountain pen, the fire escape, first of all, let me go to the elevator. I'm going to get back to that. I'm not going to let you get away with it. Lewis Latimer, who had a bunch of inventions, never get credit for. The elevator. there would be no such thing as a skyscraper without an elevator. There's some music around here. What's going on? Always being invaded by ISIS. Listen, there would be no such thing as a skyscraper. Who the hell walking up to the penthouse? The black man, Lewis Latimer, made that happen. And I know some of y'all. You're not saying I don't care if you're on. I want you to listen, but if you wasn't on, man, share this with somebody this Black History Month, man. Give them the link. I'm not looking for the likes. I'm looking for the link so that people can get some knowledge, understand the fraudulency. The fake news ain't start with this chump. Fake news started from the Constitution when they say we the people when they wasn't talking about all the people. The fake news started when they started talking about laws that only bound by us and not everybody else. It was fake news when they said this is the United States of America. Because ain't nothing united here as far as I can tell. Let me see. I'm going to try this again, man. On the way out, let's see what happens. Nah, it's not playing. But it's okay. It's okay. We only got about a minute or so. Little technical difficulties. I guess I'm going to blame it on the snow. I'm going to blame it on the rain. But I'm not going to do like Michael and blame it on the boogie. Listen, this is our first installment, Black History Month. Y'all going to learn today. You want to book us, you see the digits up there, reach out. Send me an email, text, send a letter in a bottle. We there to do you a service to teach you more than you learned tonight. That's for sure. Hey, before I go, I want you to know, man, if it's not us, then who? And if it's not now, then when? The struggle's for real. Community's Not Cages. This week, the 9th, next week. Come on out. Contact us. Get you a free ride on this bus. Come down and be part of the struggle and stop struggling by yourself.